how to handle office fire drills and still get your work done. So I was recently at a birthday party with my daughter, and she received this fine fireman's hat, and I thought this was a great way to symbolize how we spend so much of our workday, which is fighting the proverbial fire at work. No matter how great a plan you may have for your workday, you're probably going to put on the fireman's hat and fight that fire at some point in the day, and that can easily throw your whole workday plan into a tizzy. You may find yourself spending more time on other people's priorities than your own, and it can get pretty frustrating. But if you have a way to approach it, you can actually walk out of the office at the end of the day having fought those fires, taken care of those, as well as get your own gotta do work done. And you do that by considering the 3 A's. Number 1 is to accept. Accept that firefighting is a part of most jobs, and there's no reason to get frustrated about it because it's just the way it is. And so it's important for you to have a method to handle the fire drills. So 1, accept it as a reality, and accept that you need a plan to actually handle these fire drills as they emerge. They can come from your boss, they can come from your children, they can come from your parents, they can come from your coworkers, other people around the organization, the CEO. They're going to come, so just accept that. And number 2 is to ask a simple question. So instead of, and by the way, I'm a Stephen Covey fan, and he has the urgent versus the important, and having a plan to prioritize things as they're coming in and saying this is more of a long-term important thing, or it's just urgent and has to be taken care of now. This method can be helpful, but I don't necessarily find it super helpful when it comes to fire drills because you need a way to handle this in the moment. Instead, I recommend a strategic question that's in the Coaching Habit by my friend Michael Bungay Stanyard, and it's this. The strategic question is, if you say yes to this, what are you saying no to? Okay, and I repeat, if you say yes to this, so if you say yes to someone running in and saying the sky is falling, then what are you saying no to? Because what that question does is it instantly puts things in perspective and gives you sort of this grounding, orienting mindset to handle this fire drill and decide what needs to be done next. So again, the first step is to accept the first A. The second one is to ask the question, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? And then number 3 is to allow this question to drive your next actions. So again, taking the idea of someone's come in and said that, hey, the sky is falling, Ben, and you need to do something about it. Fire hats on. If I say yes to the sky is falling, what am I saying no to? So how is it? So at 1, that helps you prioritize and say, well, if I say yes to the sky is falling, those important meetings and that important project that I was going to work on this afternoon, now I can't get to, and I need to go take care of that, or I need to renegotiate it or push those out. Or maybe this really isn't your sky to be taken care of at the time, and maybe you can suggest something else from that standpoint. So again, number 1 is to accept that fire drills happen. And number 2 is to ask the question, if I say yes to this, then what am I saying no to? As in Michael Bungay Stanyard's recent book, The Coaching Habit, specifies. And then number 3 is to allow that to drive your next steps. All right, so stay tuned because next week I'm going to be sharing 6 ways to say no without ever saying it. Thanks.